made up shit just like Birdie. They way out in left field because
I tell you what y'all should have recorded if you could have. Should have been your granny.
We got some.
Why is me and her wrong and you're right?
You and who?
Me and Birdie. You say we're always wrong. What makes you right?
Cause I'm smarter than y'all. I'm better than y'all.
Y'all
Junior.
can't get Uncle Gene to agree because he never seen none of that, did he?
Junior,
I got a better mind you though.
You-
He was born here.
Yeah.
you used to have a lot of
Nick,
knowledge.
how many times do you have to call me to straighten your daddy out?
Quite a bit.
You know why?
Because you get confused.
It ain't because I think you're so smart. I don't think you. Nick thinks you're that smart. I don't.
He can't really tell you what he thinks.
I can tell Nick all day long. Call Uncle Junior. If Junior tells him it's right. It's right. That's why I say call you Uncle Junior.
Might as well get the straight of it.
Yeah.
We're straight over Nick.
That's his hero.
You know what? You know what Wayne and them said a while ago, don't you? We went to the trash dump. I said, Nick, tell Wayne who your hero is. He said, AJ, he's a boy, you're desperate for a hero.
Oh, Lord.
You know, he comes by the house every day with that truck squatted down.
That truck looks like that.
Oh, no.
It just looks like that when he goes to leave the landfill.
Wayne's a collector. Well, let me go back to work.
Where you going, Dale?
Put mulch out.
You ain't gonna learn nothing about doing that?
They got two of them down there today.
Yeah, wonder why.
They were closed yesterday. They busy today.
See that, Caroline? What you call them?
They always closed on Friday.
Thanksgiving.
Is she wearing your shirt?
They always,
Enough rubber band.
no, they open Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, ain't it?
We went hunting today. She wore it.
You went hunting today.
We didn't kill anything.
Why she
Why not?
fancy?
No, it was around.
What you want this year?
We went behind Deanne's house though. We saw some things.
Oh, boy.
He's got a garden down there.
Those horses are
All the squirrels are gone.
Yeah, December 21st. I don't know what time exactly.
What are you talking about?
We're gonna tell.
That's too close to Christmas.
Oh, no. It's good. Have the Christmas tree in the background.
Did Aunt Honeybee get to feeling better?
I don't know. I ain't been back down there yet.
What's
You're getting
wrong?
down there.
Stomach hurting her. She ain't got about a half stomach to start with.
I'm gonna provide you breakfast and everything down there.
I don't want no muffins.
I didn't say
It's
it.
gonna be the Waffle House.
I just wonder how long it's gonna take. I'd imagine it'd be about 4 or 5 hours.
The whole bunch don't know that much.
Did you take Union County News?
Yeah.
Did you see that piece on Ralph Greer?
I don't read him. What he had to say.
What Willie said.
I went into Bantam Shift the other Saturday morning. They over there every Saturday, well, they over there every morning. They meet at the table of wisdom. Well, all of them had done left except Ralph and the man that used to manage Belt's store and somebody else. I got talking to them. I just sat down with them. We got talking about
They let him sit at the
mountain and all.
table.
And I told him about when we moved down here in the mountains. He wouldn't write nothing down. Monday, Union County News come out. He had to run into this gentleman. He moved down here from Tennessee. And he put his, I told him there's 17 of us living in 3 rooms. He put down 13. He got that wrong.
There wasn't 17 of us, Willie.
Count them.
You count them.
You always told me 13.
You count them. There wasn't no 17 of us.
Count
You count them.
them. Okay.
Alright, number 1. Who was 1?
There was me, you, Birdie, Lois. How many is that?
That's 4.
Mom, Dad, Ray, Lorena, Security Boy, Beulah, and Frank and Jackie,
Beulah and Frank didn't come when we first come.
they come when we first come.
No, they didn't, Willie.
Okay.
Ray and Lorena and Ray Jr. come when we first come.
Honeybee.
Honeybee and Ralph come.
How many is that?
How'd y'all sleep?
I was 13.
Huh?
It was about 13 of us.
13, 14.
It's 17.
No. You're wrong.
How did y'all sleep?
17, probably.
And she
Well, see, I told him, I said, I believe it was Lois went into work one night. And they told her she had to be out for a spare hand to work. And she said, I can't be out. And he said, why can't you be out? Said, when I got up to come in to work, somebody off the second shift come in and got my spot.
Lois wasn't old enough to work when we come down here.
They ain't gonna agree about nothing.
Leo was the bottom one to work.
How old was Lois when we moved down here?
Probably may have been 15.
Huh?
If they wasn't old enough to work then, good Lord, you can get a job
You
now
get
at
a lot
16.
of work at 15 then.
You can get jobs at 15.
See, the problem in our family, me, him, Birdie, I don't know about Honeybee, whether she's that much like that or not. When I'm telling something, he knows I'm right, but he don't want to agree with me.
Willie, if you ever ride somewhere.
Well, no, you ain't gonna agree, no, that's just the way we are.
They don't take that angle.
Lois,
I don't know.
listen, when we come down here, Lois was not old enough to work in the mill. Leo was the youngest one.
We had the same problem when you sit down there under the tree at Lois's. Nobody would agree with nobody. You know they're right, but I'm not agreeing with them.
But Lois wasn't old enough.
And he's world.
Well, I thought Leo was older than Aunt Lois.
What did I just say? Leo was old enough to work. Lois wasn't right then.
Him and Lois was the world's worst about not wanting to agree with one of the other ones.
So all y'all was grown when Uncle Gene was born.
No,
I was 9.
I was 11.
He had it like a king compared to y'all, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Every morning when he got up to go to school, he had a quarter laying on top of the television for his breakfast, for his lunch at school. We never ate in school, never.
Carried the lard bucket with him.
Huh?
Y'all carried it in the lard.
No, we went hungry.
No, when we went to
We didn't touch it.
Harmon Day there, we carried the lunch bucket.
When we went to Monarch, we didn't touch
I'm
our
talking
lunch.
about in Tennessee.
I'm talking about down here.
Oh, down here you didn't get nothing.
Well,
I'm talking about Tennessee.
Did they have lunches?
Where?
And you,
No, Miss
boy,
Nail.
you're at school.
Miss Nail.
Okay, Miss Willard.
Miss Nail will go buy stuff if you had your money.
Miss Willard made sandwiches. She lived up on Hillcrest Drive. And she made sandwiches for all the school, and you had to order them. And they'd come around and ask you what kind of sandwich you wanted. And you had to pay, but we never did order because we didn't have no money.
But you know, that woman was going to be old. She was the librarian when we was up getting on her.
hey,
Miss Nail.
Nails on.
yeah, she was do you know when Joanne's mama died? I was working at DJJ, so it's been within the last 9 years. We went over to Joanne's Miss Bridges' house, and Miss Nail come in there, and you know she remembered me from Monarch School. I bet she's got to be in her 90s.
She ought to be. So she was a librarian when we went out there.
She was a secretary when I went.
Well, she the one who took orders.
How was it at Harmon
How or what?
School?
I didn't go to school in Harmon.
Well, you said Harmon didn't
That's what he said, but he wasn't thinking when he said it.
Hell yeah.
Well, you lost one recess a week carrying stove wood. They had about 4 or 5 grades in the same room. They'd have 2 or 3 here, 2 or 3 there, 2 or 3 there.
Mm-hmm.
First time
And they heated with wood. They had a big old
I remember going to school, was in that church right there where you turn to go to Billy Jack's.
Yeah, that's the first place you went to school.
It was a church and a school. And all the grades is in, you was these in this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. Of the sanctuary.
But you never did go to that other school up on the hill.
No.
Wonder if Granny and them ever went to school.
Yeah.
Did they?
Who?
Granny.
You know,
She had to because she could read.
Mom was smart as all get out. She was. You'd think she had at least a high school education, you know. But my dad, when we first moved down here, he couldn't sign his name.
He could. When he cut them fingers off,
He put an X.
when he cut them two fingers off, and that thing finally limbered back up again.
All I know, he used to put an X out there and somebody else would
But no,
sign it.
he could sign it, but when he cut them two fingers off, he couldn't bend that finger. He had to hold a pencil like this.
I never ever remember him sitting down and reading a newspaper or anything.
My memory of him is there was a glider on the,
Laying in the glider.
laying in the glider with a hat over his.
Right before he went to work.
That's what I remember.
We moved here with Jesse across the creek down on the going toward the high school. Across the creek, that was a field there, belonged to Joe Shatley. And we farmed that when we first moved down here. And he'd get me and Junior up daybreak, go down there to plow and hoe. He'd come home about 12 o'clock, he'd eat, he'd go out there and lay in that glider about 2, get up, go out to meal and set to work
That
time.
field don't look like nothing ever been raised, did it?
Huh? No.
He'll go out there and out
And Granny had cornbread when he come home. I remember that. She made cornbread. Well, Daddy eats cornbread and milk a lot.
I still do.
Well, if it hadn't been for cornbread meal, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, he'd go every morning and work. And then when blackberry time come, we was in the blackberry patch when daylight come up.
Man, you didn't take a bucket. You took a bucket to pick in and a tub to pour it up in. I'm talking about a couple of big wash tubs. And your boy wasn't coming home till they was full.
Oh, we could get chickers, man.
I remember killing chicken. Granny go outside. Granny would take them chickens and she'd do like this. And that chicken body would go this way. She'd be holding the head.
And that chicken run around, no head, wasn't it?
She'd dip them in hot scalding water and put them in a wheelbarrow. And we had to pull the feathers out of them.
We cleaned 65, 70 at one time.
That's what you gotta do with your chicken, Dalton. Bring its neck down there.
And Granny would hear a word on her stories. She called them stories, soap operas. That was her stories. She'd hear a
That's
word.
why you call them stories, huh?
What?
Soap operas.
Stories.
That's what it was.
She'd hear a word on there and not know what it means, but it'd sound good to her, and she'd use that word. It wouldn't mean nothing. She wouldn't know what it was meaning. I learned a lot from Granny, though. I learned how to can a lot from Granny.
You never did learn how to make apple pies, though, did you? And you never learned how to make the blackberry cobbler. I never forget the last time I
We'd love to
remember.
have one in fried apple pies.
Last time I remember, when we put her porch
Put
on
them
that house
pies.
down there.
Me and you and the little Junior.
She come out.
Pharaoh.
She come out there and says, "Okay, boys, I got you pay in here." And we went in the kitchen, and you know where the table was at over there? She had plates of apple pie
We eat every one of them.
stacked up, man. That's what she paid us with.
And Granny didn't measure when she cooked. She
No,
just
she had dab it.
She'd just,
Little dab of this, she'd say, little dab of that.
she'd keep salt in a,
Well, she could put
bowl.
it together in a hurry.
Then,
She used to make tea cakes. I love that dough. What is that?
I didn't like blackberry cobbler, but I liked the dough. I didn't like them blackberries.
She used to make tea cakes. She rolled that dough out, and I want a hunk of that
It's a
dough.
yellow looking dough.
Yeah. These.
And, I didn't figure out how to make them egg custard pies either. And
She
she
called-
never had a
she called
recipe.
She called them tea cakes. Today they call them sugar cookies.
You remember she was making puzzles out of corn and beans. She'd get out there and have a big wooden thing and glue popcorn, colored popcorn, and she had a rooster. You remember them?
Yeah.
And I remember she
She used
played.
to have a board hanging up,
Yeah.
had a rooster or something other.
She would play bingo on the radio. The radio would have bingo, and they'd watch the dog races.
Poor honeybee got on that radio one night.
She almost get killed.
The only thing
See,
I
the only time
remember.
they cut that radio on was when the war news come on. This was during World War II. Had a battery about like this. That's what played the radio. And the only time you played it was when Dad cut it on, they got the Gabriel Heater from
Gabriel Hader.
the war news on. Well, Honeybee Slim cut it on, put it on the Grand Ole Opry. And he said, put it back on Gabriel Heater or something. She said, Gabriel Heater's ass.
And she lost hers.
Remember that time she cut her foot? They was canning. And that whole can come apart and it hit her across the top of the foot. It didn't bleed much, it cooked it. They got her to the doctor. But usually was, if something was white, it was sterile to Mom.
I remember we lived up our bun in what was his name? Sheriff. He wasn't a sheriff, he was a deputy or something or other. We lived on his land up there.
You still recording?
Smith,
Yeah. Anyhow, we lived up there. And Frank was outside cutting wood.
me and him.
That's Beulah's husband. He come inside, he said, dogs, look at there, he done cut his thumb off, holding the wood and sliding.
I was carrying it in. He cut the stove off for the stove wood. You cut it up fine. He was splitting it. And the axe handle was going between his legs. And I took a load in, I come back and there he stood. That thumb in there and it's squirting. Now, Beulah got Leo to run down there, take Frank to the doctor, but Leo took his son with him. And got down there and Leo told you, said, need to take Frank. Doctor said he cut his thumb off. And New's wife said, sure enough, Leo said, yeah. She just fainted. And you know his thumb and Dad's thumb is buried up there.
In the backyard in a quart jar with alcohol in it.
Where at?
In the backyard of that house we lived in.
Up there on Blue Mill.
Let's go dig it up. We can go do it.
We'll dig
They
up.
already had Dad's buried and they dug him up and put Frank's in there.
Wouldn't you like to see them though?
Hey, ain't nothing but just
Bone.
ain't no bone, skin still on them, man. They pickle.
Well then let's go up there.
Oh, I gotta see him.
Take a X-ray machine up there. And
I'll show you where the spot is. You did.
Do you know what?
you don't know where the spot's at.
I
You
know
know
within a
what,
mile of it.
When I had my gallbladder, they took mine out, cut me, and all the stones that was in that thing, they put them in a medicine bottle and give them to me, and I put them in the dresser drawer. And when I found them, do you know them things that all turned back to powder?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what your body's made out of, is dust. Your body will go back to dust.
Yeah.
I never get
Wow,
up.
Nick, looks amazing.
I had that gallbladder attack. First one I had. About 79 or something like that. And, you know, I woke up that night hurting. I thought I was having a heart attack. And I told Gina, you stay here with Misty, I'm going to the hospital. So I take off to the hospital, and they give me, kept me overnight. They give me this stuff to drink. They x-rayed me. And he said, boy, said, you got gallstones bad. They need to come out. And he gave me some, he said, you ever have another attack? He gave me the same kind of medicine you put under your tongue for a heart attack. And he said, that'll stop it. But anyhow, it's one of them things that happen. It ain't raining on you past the house, you know.
Yeah.
And me and Laverne had done got married when I had the next attack. And I went to his office up here. I said, can we do that on outpatient? He said, man, that's major surgery. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, ever since y'all come down here from the mountains, I was your first doctor. He said, y'all always give me the impression y'all thought y'all were tougher than anything that walked there. And he said, I'll tell you what, when you come out of the recovery room, if all your vital signs are good, you can go home. We'll do it outpatient. You so tough, so set it up. He called the hospital, see when he could get to the operating room. Put me to sleep. I don't even remember the recovery room. I was in the room and he stuck his head in the door a little bit. Said, okay, bud. Everything looks good. Hit the floor. Man, I can't move. He said, nurse, get him out of the bed. I said, please, let me make a bargain with you. If you won't get me out of the bed right now, when you come in the morning, I'll be sitting in that chair. Let me get myself up. She looked at Dr. Hope. He is standing there. That's okay. Let's do that. Me wanted it outpatient. I wasn't supposed to stay but 3 days and ended up staying 4 days.